Peeps, it's your boy Down in the Dreamer coming to you with another YouTube video. How's it going? How's it going? Hoping that you've had a pretty chill week. And yeah, it's business as usual. Like I said, I was gonna try to do some more audio in my videos. And yeah, so this is a brand new game. New to you guys anyway, new to the channel. It's called Gigantic Rampage Edition. Apparently, it is a fresh take on a game that was made some years ago, and it's the first time it's released to, I think it was on Xbox, maybe Xbox One, or what's the I'm drawing a blank. What's the modern Xbox, or the Xbox Series? Yes, Xbox Series X and S. Maybe that's what it was. But yeah, so it's originally for Xbox, and now it's on PlayStation. So that's what I got it for. I got it for PS5. Originally, what drew me to this game was the art style and the character. His name is Kajir. Yeah, it's pretty cool. If you have a PS5 controller, I don't know if it does the same thing for the Xbox Series, but when you pick the characters, they actually talk to you through the microphone, which is pretty dope. Yeah, so this game is pretty fun. It's a Overwatch like hero shooter. So, you get your champions, you have to perform tasks, fight other players. It's PvP. And yeah, in this game, however, you have teams of five. It's 5v5. And each of you has what's called a guardian. I believe the teams are called House Devadra or Devadra and House Orion, either one. And one's a big griffin and one's a big ass dragon. And yeah, you pick your characters. There are 4 classes: frontliners, which are your tanks; range DPS, which is that would be your snipers, I guess; and melee DPS, which is your close-up fighters; and you have support. Um, those are the general categories. But if you look at some of the characters, for example, Lord Gnosis is a frontliner / melee DPS. Some of the characters have multiple classifications, so his role is a tank and a DPS, which means that basically how you scale his abilities, you can skew them towards a certain playstyle. His archetype is Bruiser, and he's from a bull man. He's actually the character that you complete the tutorial with, so he's like your jumping off point. But yeah, the character designs are pretty cool. The art style is very interesting, very unique, very pretty, very vibrant. They have cosmetics, which is always fun. It's pretty cool. And then you have your abilities. One of the things I like about this game, over, say for example, Overwatch, is that you have far more degrees of customization, a lot more like Paladins, where Paladins you could customize your build to a certain degree. Not so much your playstyle, but you could, pretty much your playstyle. You could actually pick what abilities you have. Like all the abilities were essentially the same, but you could customize your builds to the point where you could essentially focus on what abilities you use most to suit the character's playstyle. Here, you can literally kind of mix and match and play your own playstyle. So to the point where it's your character may play, even if you and say your enemy on the opposing team picks the same character, you guys could have 2 completely conflicting playstyles. That being said, like for example, with Gnosis, you have his R2. So R2 is your main attacking ability. It would be like your normal shooting button in Overwatch or whichever game you play. So this is your main attack. This is the one that doesn't like really cost you any stamina or anything like that. And his two abilities are Bruiser and Pierce. The main ability is called Skewer, but the playstyles are Bruiser and Pierce. So for one, his playstyle has on hit, it buffs basic attack damage. So basically, when you hit, you gain extra damage percentage. And then the other style is Pierce, which is when you're doing sprint melee, which is your essentially like you can dash with circle to dodge. But when you're running around, like when you're in free movement, when you're out of combat, you have essentially free movement, which is like you have unlimited stamina dash. So like you have your speedy movement around the map. And so in Gnosis's case, or Gnosis case, when he's sprinting and he presses melee, he'll do like imagine like a gore, like since he's a bull, do like a bull spear, and then it applies bleeding damage. It only consumes 10 stamina, which is not too bad unless you're trying to spam it. But once you're in combat, essentially, it makes it difficult to sprint. You don't act. It kind of like disables sprint to some degree, and you can't really run around as quickly as you would. You would move. You would sort of strafe around. But you can dash away from combat, and then like once you're further away from combat, you can actually start sprinting again. But that said, you can, if you decide to go with the Pierce style of play, you can then choose a level 2, which is an upgrade of the ability, which I'll get to in a bit on how that works. And you can pick 2 different styles. And you got one where when you're doing it, it applies cracked armor, which is basically just weakens your enemies like health, their armor health. And then you have another one where it stacks more bleed damage, which is pretty cool. And then the other style is like on hit, it refreshes your basic attack buff. So your cooldown for buff for the extra damage, the 20% extra damage refreshes. And then on the last one is on kill, you deal double damage, which is, that's pretty cool. But yeah, that's just like sort of a basic understanding of the skill tree. You have your builds, of course. This is essentially you can make your own custom builds and save them. They initially come with 2 of their own builds, so even if you're like you don't want to get that in depth in the game, and you just want to like play quick matches and stuff like that, and you don't want to like think too much about it, you got brawler and finisher, and they give you essentially 2 distinct different play styles for the characters and whatnot. But I find that it's fun to the most fun I've had aside from playing the actual game is actually customizing the build and seeing how that affects my gameplay. I think it's pretty cool. And me, I like to get a little silly, and I like to essentially name the build something funny. So since Gnosis is the bull, when I think of a bull, I think of Dwayne the Rock Johnson, and I named the spread loadout the Rock says. So that's a little something cheeky and stuff like that. The other thing is you get these things called fortunes, and basically they're like, so like in most games you have like your weekly challenges, your daily challenges, or objectives that you complete. Fortunes are there a couple types. There's a general, use your weekly, which is like, oh, play 1 match on a certain team, win X amount of matches, earn 20 badges, which is like badges are not cosmetic rewards, but basically like you'll get something for like getting like 10 assists with a certain character during a match. And they give you these kinds of things. There's the weekly ones, there's general ones. So you play 10 rush mode matches, play clash, which is the other type of match. And you get these fortunes, and they're based on tarot cards, which I think is pretty dope because I like tarot cards. I like the, the, I won't say the lore, but the concept of it is pretty cool. But yeah, and then you have character specific fortunes, which is like, if you specialize with a certain character, then you can start to rack up these fortunes for them. They don't really do anything as far as I know, but you can equip, like as you can see in my loadout, you can equip them to, I guess, show other players what you've done during gameplay. I'm still learning the game, so I'm still learning all the ins and outs. If they have any more uh, purpose than just that, then if I find out, I'll add it in a future video. But yeah, so that's a brief breakdown of the game, sort of the roles, playstyles and such, and then this is the character roster. This is how much characters they have so far. So you got about 25, it's looking like. Yeah, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yep, 25 characters. They're all very different from each other. Very, very different. They all play very uniquely, in my experience anyway. So that's pretty cool. There doesn't seem to be much overlap in their playstyles. And I think that's another great thing. It's like, like I like games like League of Legends and Overwatch and stuff like that. And, you have these like humongous rosters of champions and stuff. And I like games that don't rinse and repeat the character archetypes. Like, Beckett, for example, or Briquette, however you choose to pronounce it. Like, she plays very similar to Pharah and Tracer to some degree from Overwatch. But, like, she's the only character that plays that way. And none of these other characters play like her. And I think that's pretty cool. I love when there's, like, originality. I've played some games where, like, there's a lot of, like, you have characters who are basically the same person with a different skin. And it's like, that sucks because it seems like, I mean, I'm not saying it's easy to develop a game or make a game and especially support it and so on. But, I feel like when you do stuff like that, it's kind of lazy. Like, one game I used to really enjoy was Brawl Out. This was a game I used to play on the Switch. And it's, it was like Smash Brothers before Smash Brothers came out. And, it had all these cool character designs. But then, like, after you unlock, which, I think it had like some like 20 characters or whatever. And like after you play for a little bit, you notice that some of the characters are just color swaps of other characters. And I was just like, cool. That's cool and all, but don't do me like that. Like, you have like one character who's like a shark, and then the next character would be like a frog, but they would have the same moveset. And it's like, it just comes off as lazy. But, again, no shade. But, yeah, so I'll give you a brief look at the characters. I'll try to get some gameplay in here on one or two characters that I enjoy. It's kind of tough to get matches sometimes. Like, matches can take up to, like, the queue time for matches can take up to, like, I've had somewhere I'm waiting, like, almost 20 minutes for a queue. I don't know if it's because the servers are really packed or more sparse. This is a fairly new game. I'm not sure how many people really know about it, but I want to spread some awareness because I actually do enjoy it. But yeah, so you have Lord Gnosis or Gnosis. You got Biquette. They got a brief rundown. They got stat breakdown. Rutger. He's a pretty fun character. You can see I've played with some of these characters more than others. It's like a Western armadillo. He's a tank. He's fun. Imani. She's your sniper. The Margrave. I haven't played much with him, but he seems fun. He seems strong. Upon first looking at him, he seems like he might be the big bad, but yeah, he's also a tank. HK206, bot shooter, always fun. Paco, Paco's cool, adorbs. Uh, Fun fact: Paco is one of my daughter's favorite characters because he's adorbs. It's very free. He's also he's a support and a tank. So that's what I'm saying. Like some of these characters have double, big double dip in the different characters, which is cool.
I am
Voden, the archer, he's like a sniper deer fox or gazelle, maybe. Yeah, he's cool. You know, if you like archers, this is your guy. Zandora, she's fun. You know, if you're into muscle mommies, right? She's listed as a support mostly, but she can also tank because like the way you use her is like very interesting. Like you can actually like she can be on the front line swinging this big ass sword, or you can turn it to a laser somehow depending on her playstyle. But she also has like the ability to like kind of buff her team, which is it's cool. It's very unique. She can buff and heal, so it's like all right. How many tanks can do that? Most of the time. You got Charnock, he's a spellcaster, ranged DPS. So he basically just throws fireballs at people, just trying to nuke you as much as possible.
You glad to see me?
Ramsey, cool. I don't really like him because I don't really like his design, but he's pretty strong. I've actually played a couple matches with him. He's pretty decent. I just don't like his design. I find him to be like scummy. He's like a pirate. But yeah, he's cool.
Greetings.
Mozu. I find that a lot of games have this sort of like I attribute them to Orko from He-Man. These like black mage type characters, and I think Mozu is the Orko of this game. Plays pretty strong. Cool in my book. I mean, I enjoy playing him. Yeah. You got Wu. So this is another character that caught my eye. So there's like a frog character in the game, Rivals of Ether. He's like a monk frog, a poison dart monk frog, and he's like one of my favorite characters in Rivals of Ether to play as, and I thought that was really cool. So the idea of having like a martial arts monk brawler fighter in Wu, I thought it was pretty dope. So I actually I completely suck with him. I'm not even gonna hold you up. Like I kind of suck with him. Like I know he's like a high skill cap character. You can do like resets and stuff like that. But like I said, I'm still new, still learning. But yeah, so far I haven't had much success with him. But he's cool in my book. Azaringal. So this guy, I find him to be fun. He's interesting. He's a caster. He's like a ranged caster. If I had to compare him to like say an Overwatch character, I'm trying to think who would he be. Like he's kind of interesting in that regard, where like you do like a drain, kind of like a Moira. He's like a mixture of like a Moira, but then like he fires like these like he basically his whole gimmick is that he steals souls and then like he charges the soul energy he gets up, and then he fires like soul bullets. So I want to say he's like a Moira, but it's similar but different. It's cool though. He's cool. I picked this costume because it reminds me of Dr. Facilier from Princess and the Frog, which is what I named his build playstyle, Dr. Facilier. Yeah. So, the Shadow Man. Fun stuff. Taito the Swift. I haven't played much with them, but I can tell he's pretty strong. Most of the time, you see him in a lot of matches. As you can see, his mobility is maxed up. His archetype is Assassin, so that would technically be like the other combat class. You got your. I mean, aside from like melee DPS, you have I guess the main archetype classes would be Bruiser for tanks, control slash support, which is like, you know, different types of stuff. And then you have assassin types who are like the frail, speedy types who basically like burst you down, but like, the glass cannons, which, he's cool. He does a lot of damage. Like he's like one of the characters you see very often. I would go kind of far to say that maybe he's even considered like the like if I don't want to say the main character, but like the poster character, like the one you would see on the like posters of like the promotion for the game and stuff like that. He's definitely a dope design. Has a little pet. The pet doesn't do anything as far as I know, but it's pretty cool. Oru.
Hello there.
So his whole thing is like he does cards, which it's interesting. So like he'll set like card traps and stuff like that. He fires off cards and stuff. He's kind of wacky. Maybe like if I had to say like personality wise, he's kind of like a Mr. Mixelflick from DC. But yeah, he's an interesting kit. Very interesting like kit. Not playing too much with him, but he's certainly an interesting character. More like setting traps and stuff like that, doing kind of wacky stuff. Trip.
Hi.
She's another character that kind of drew me to it. Like I've been on a kick where I kind of like characters who use daggers in like games and RPGs and stuff like that. So she's like your stereotypical assassin, but she has lightning powers, and she's like stupid fast. And she, as you can see, like her speed is almost maxed out, but her attack damage is maxed all the way out. So she definitely deals damage. She takes names, but yeah, glass cannon type for sure. Pretty cool. She has pretty cool abilities. Okay, I got a couple more to look at. So we got Uncle Sven. Uncle Sven, he is an alchemist. Listed as a support, healer slash utility. He's got potions that deal damage, that do poison, that gives you increased speed, like jumping and healing, and yeah, he's wacky. Look at him with his big belly, big jolly belly. But yeah, he's a cool character. He's actually Sag World's preferred character to use, and she kind of goes in with him. It's pretty cool. Very enjoyable. This is the character I'm like high on right now. I'm having so much fun playing her. Griselma. She reminds me of the granny from Spirited Away, and I mean she's nothing like her as far as I can tell, but like it's pretty interesting. She places like hand turret monsters that call portal beasts. She places turrets down. Basically, you put them down. She can have them deal damage to your enemies and stuff like that. Yeah, you get kind of wacky. She can portal away. Her ultimate is like a big hand comes and smacks people around. Like it's kind of wacky. Like even her run animation is hilarious. And beware the crazed granny. She's pretty cool. I enjoy actually playing as her. I know you'll see like other tier lists and stuff where people say she's not that great, but I find her to be enjoyable. So she's like my most played character right now. Don't ask me why. I don't know. I just like her. Madasi. So she is a healer. She's a support healer. Supposedly her kit is basically that I've like barely played her like once or twice. And her kit is that she heals, but like she takes a portion of her health to do it, and like to buff her team, which is like, okay, that's cool. I mean, I think that makes you a little more vulnerable, but it's an interesting place. Like I said, they're very creative with the character designs and the way you play the game. Ashlyn. So she's like my second most played character and one of my favorites. She's like if I'm getting my butt kicked in a match, I'll switch to her. She's pretty cool. She has a thing where she basically summons the spirit of her ancestor or father, and has him patrol the battlefield and like fight for her. She can also deal some damage too, but nowhere near as much as like her dad doing the damage for her. And this is pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting, kid. So she can buff, like if her dad is near you, like you guys get a buff. Same thing with Griselma's like portal beast. If they're near you, you can have it your build set up where like they can heal you, they can give you like defense boosts, attack boosts, so on and so forth. It's pretty cool. And yeah, just they're fun characters. These are like my two favorite characters, Ashlyn and Griselma, along with Tripper are my favorite characters. Zenobia. So this character she basically reminds me of like her playstyle is like she poisons, she does a lot of poisons and she drains you like Moira from Overwatch, but basically slim, like she even has like an eel that floats around with you. She's like a Kraken Ursula who poisons you and steals your life. she's actually pretty fun to play as too. uh, I don't know, like I find most of the female characters in this game to be pretty cool. um Nothing wrong with that. I mean, I find all the characters to be enjoyable. I'm an equal opportunity player, but I find that I do better with like Ashlyn, Griselma, um, voden to some degree as well, even though I haven't played them like crazy amounts. But these, because for me, like I play more tank characters usually in like Overwatch and stuff like that, and Paladins. I rarely play like straight up DPS or straight up support. When I do, I just go for whatever I like. I don't really like go to like tier lists or things like that. I try to just have fun with it, with whoever I enjoy. And so yeah, these are some of the characters I enjoy playing. T-Mat. I haven't played T-Mat yet, but I hear they're pretty good. Some of the videos I reviewed or watched, like look pretty cool. The robot characters I kind of like knew that would be like top tier. So when I play games, I tend to try to shy away from the top tier and what everybody's picking because it's just not my thing. But I also like to understand the characters so I can appreciate them. But yeah, seems pretty cool. And Roland, I recently unlocked him. He was the last character I unlocked. So that's another thing about this game. It's this huge emphasis on it's not a free to play game. It's like $20, or it was on sale at the time. It's like 20 to $30. But you don't really do micro transactions. Like I know that's like a big thing, like with Overwatch, like you spend some money, you can buy cosmetics and stuff in the store. In this game, you actually earn money and character vouchers to actually unlock the characters rather than spend money to unlock them like you would in Overwatch, which they got rid of spending money to unlock characters, which I think is a good idea. But yeah, that was like one of the main selling points for me was, you get to earn the other characters. You know what I mean? Like that I thought was pretty cool. I actually enjoy stuff like that where I can like, oh, I just get stuff by playing. And honestly, like you can look at my profile level, I'm level 16. I played a pretty good amount. You're not gonna win every match, but you still earn experience points towards the characters you use. And that goes a long way. You unlock rewards for the fortunes you complete, which that also adds to it. I also got in at a good time. They were doing like double experience weekends, which is dope because you get twice as much experience you get for completing a match, and it was cool. But yeah, you guys have heard me ramble on enough. Uh, 30 minutes of me just rambling, which if you stayed with the video this long, I appreciate you so much. I'm so sorry. But yeah, you know what to do. Like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. This is just my, thoughts, my insane thoughts on the game. We're gonna get into some gameplay. Yeah, so I'm gonna try to I doubt I'm going to be able to get a match right now, so I'm going to do a custom match and just show you essentially what gameplay plays like. So the two different modes are Rush and Clash. Brief breakdown. Rush is just a faster version of Clash. Basically, I prefer to do Rush because it's like a lot quicker. And the tricky part about this game is like, being that it's new, I've had a couple crashes on me, and that sucked. The maps are pretty fire though. What's a good one? Oh, I'm gonna go to Ember Grove. That's like my favorite map to go to. Yeah. So instant match. See, those are the two Guardians. So yeah. So basically, this is the whole roster. This is what it looks like. They're separated. You got your range DPSs over here, your casters and the like. So this is all range characters. On the left, your melee characters in the middle here. It's melee / assassins, as you can see the different icons. You got shooters, and then you got fighters / assassins, which is like all melee stuff. Then you got your tanks here on the like, I guess middle right, and then you have your supports. So I'm going Rana. Yeah, her build is a spirit. I call my build Spirited Away because like she reminds me of you, Baba. Great movie, by the way. So basically, you're 5v5, and you're gonna see what's gonna happen. I'll explain as I go. Try to explain as I go. Okay, so also look at her run, crazy. All right, so you launch off onto the map. The idea is that you're battling for these control points that are labeled A, B, C, D, E, F, G. At certain points, you have these creatures here who are like assists for you. They basically will back you up. You can protect them, and they'll heal you, actually. They heal you, so that's pretty cool, too. So you see, I have my Portal Beast. I popped it here, being around to give me a boost. What you want to do is you want to fight over these points. You got to try to get these control points so that you can gain power for your Guardian. So we have 20. Each control point is worth 20. Each kill you get during the match is worth 10. So the idea is that you want to get to 100 so that your Guardian can go on a rampage and then weaken the enemy Guardian. Throughout the map are little these little green orbs which you can use to heal. And yeah. So you want to utilize all your abilities. You got your 4 main abilities, and you have one ultimate. You have your ultimate, one ultimate. You have an ultimate, which, depending on your playstyle, you can actually, a little pro tip, if you prefer, so like originally, your ultimate is assigned to pressing L1 and R1 at the same time. If you find that to be a little slow and deterring, then you can actually change the playstyle to simplified, and they'll make it triangle. So just the one button ultimate, while leaving all your other buttons the same. You can also customize your, your overall setup and whatnot to make the game a little more adjustable and easier for you and stuff. So that's pretty cool. But yeah. So the idea is that you want to go to these points. You want to try to take out the enemy heroes and try to deter them from taking out your people. And yeah, you want to steal when you can. You don't want to overextend because you could end up losing ground pretty quickly. Rush makes things a lot easier because you essentially have like the max upgraded form of of all your abilities, which is pretty cool. So that's why I prefer to play Rush, because it's pretty easy to like pick up and play Rush mode, and get through matches pretty quickly. With Clash mode, which is like, I guess that would be like the main mode, it's more strategic as it's listed. Essentially, like, you have to, you don't get to pick. Well, I can't say you don't get to pick the creatures you have, but essentially what happens is you assign creatures to points to make it a little more interesting and easier to some degree. And basically, like, you can customize your loadout to have like different creatures and stuff like that. And basically, you would assign them, like, you, rather than just drain the energy or whatever, you can actually summon a creature on a point, a control point. They'll stay on that point until the enemy team defeats them. And, like, you know, you can have them do different things. Some of them give you like the ability to see further away. Others will have you heal or do boost damage or whatever the case may be. So it's very interesting. This game is very nuanced, very interactive. So all right, nice. I just got that kill. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So yeah, you're about to see in a second. We're about to get 100. All right, so we got 100. So idea, you follow the arrows now. Since that's the enemy champion on Team Debater, you want to wait until your champion comes, and it's a pretty short countdown, as you can see. Coming, you guys, 5, 4. See, your champion tackles the enemy champion, and then boom, they're rolling good. So now you want to have your team come together, and we do as much damage as possible to the enemy champion. You want to try to take them out as much as possible, but we almost got him. Time's almost up, but you know, we're moving. So, oh yeah, see, easy. You know, rush is just like that. So, like, the difference between like Clash and Rush mode, Rush mode, there's no cap. Oh, I got an S plus, sick. Rush mode doesn't seem to be like a cap on how much damage you can deal during the first knockdown or during a knockdown. Whereas like Clash mode, like, I think they cap you out of like, I don't know, like three like rounds of damage or whatever. The enemy team can also defend their champion, of course, during this time by taking out your team. They take out your teammates, and then that adds shields to their champion if their champion's vulnerable. And that makes it a little more balanced, so it's not like you just beating up on everybody. So, like, you know what I mean, it could get pretty hectic and get, you know, Clash mode can go pretty long, but Rush is like, if you want a quick game to pick up and play, yeah, go for it. See, like, that match was 5 minutes and 3 seconds. You know, pretty quick, but overall pretty fun. But yeah, champions. Champion heroes, champions/heroes, whichever you want to call them. And then, of course, you get graded. Some people doesn't like the grade, like Sag doesn't like the grading system. I like it. I think it's pretty cool. I don't know that it does anything. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't unlock any like achievements or anything like that, or trophies. But I think it's like pretty cool to like know how well you're doing, see that you're on the right path. So, like, for example, my team award is I got the most healing. I gave the most healing to my teammates because of my portal beasts. You got the Guardian Angel awards, and so on and so forth. I don't really know what they all mean, but yeah. Well, I mean, some of them are self-explanatory. I don't know what Guardian Angel award would be. I mean, that everybody else got that, but yeah, it's pretty cool, pretty dope. I'm gonna get one more in for you guys. Next time I do put up a video, hopefully it'll be like a PvP match. I just know, like, the time this is going up, it's pretty late, and I know that I tend to not have as much luck when it's like super late at night. Even though this is a weekend, but I just, from my experience so far, you know, that's not the case. But yeah, so the cool thing is also you can make it where it's like you can do one-on-ones, which is like unheard of to me when it comes to like these types of games. Like, I've never really played a game where you can do like one-on-one. I never played a PvP hero shooter game where you can have one-on-one matches, but that's pretty cool. You can also just play exclusively against your friends, with play against crew, and you can kind of do something similar in Overwatch, with the custom match mode, where you could just you can have like you're on one team, and then you have your friend, one of your friends or people you're playing with, have their own team, and you guys just go against each other. Which I like when games do that. I think that's should be done more, and it's a lot more fun. Another thing I'm always going back and forth with Sag is you can add spectators. That's interesting too. Um, One thing I'm always going back and forth with her about is about the death of couch co-op. That was like something for me growing up was like a huge thing. Like we weren't getting a game if it wasn't couch co-op. Me and my brother couldn't play together. But I think that should come back. I think that should definitely come back. I think, I mean, again, I have yet to develop my own game. Hope to do some eventually, but I think couch co-op and having online co-op are very important. Just being able to play with your friends overall is just fun. And it just makes life easier. Okay, so this time we're gonna go. You know what? We're gonna put random. I'm gonna do random. Let's have fun with that. And you guys already seen some griselma gameplay. I don't know if you guys peeped the ult. But yeah, she's a lot of fun. S rank. We'll see how well we do with whoever else. Yeah. Let's see. Who do I? You know what? Not great with him, but I think I'm gonna do Kajir. Did I delete? Oh, I might have deleted his build. Whoops. Might have deleted his build. Didn't even mean to. Oh, crap. Alright, I'm gonna have to switch. Let that go on too long. That's fine. The other cool thing is like why I favorite games like this and Overwatch slightly over Paladins. Don't get me wrong, I love Paladins. Paladins are hella fun. But being able to adjust on the fly, I think it's very important, especially during these highly competitive matches. You know what? Let's just go voden. Go voden. Yeah, I named him Toxic Avenger because I went with a strictly poison build. But yeah, let's get some DPS in here. He's a fun character though. I think I have to work on my Kajir build. That's probably why I didn't. Why I deleted his original build, which was like originally it was like a joke. It's like I think of him as like a ninja, so I put Kage Bushin no Jutsu for my Naruto fans. Ooh. Oh man, good. So the build I have with voden lets me shoot 5 arrows at once. Crap. Trip is killing me. Alright. Alright guys, cover me while I'm healing. Alright, I gotta get out of dodge. So yeah, the idea is that you move from point A to point B. You can realistically win without ever getting a kill, which I mean, you know, depending on how you feel about that, it's either good or bad. And during the match, your teammates would occasionally take, you know, they'll occasionally like say some voice lines, which is cool, different, but cool. Yeah, the range on this is crazy. And also the creatures aren't completely defenseless either. They can fight back, and they also if you're a certain ways away, they'll not just, you can't just snipe them. This match might not go as quickly. Cooldowns are taking forever. Where are you going? Come back here. Got him. You also get health for taking out somebody. So gotta go. Alright. Try to deal as much damage as possible. Feel a good rhythm. Alright, now we gotta escape before we get damaged. I got stealth mode. Paco just laughed maniacally. I don't know if it'll come up on the microphone here, but it'd be cool if it don't and make not sound crazy. Oh crap. Yeah, that's fun. Alright, keep that. Run away. Need heals. Damn, we're down right now. Where's my creature? Where's my heals, bud? Okay, that's interesting. Oh, I went too far. Yeah, so that's also why you don't want to go over near the Guardian. You know, one might be like, oh, why don't you just go over to the Guardian and then try to deal damage beforehand? Well, that's why. Because they can attack you and they deal hella damage. Okay. Cornered. Where? About to die. Yep. Oh, yeah. We're getting slapped up right now. My team is, I don't know. I guess they're just giving up the points to these guys. So we're 20 to 60. All right. You can jump. Okay, cool. Someone else on the other side. All right. 60 to 70. All right. One thing I can say is, like, I've done a couple of these matches, these CPU matches, and it's hilarious to me that, like, after a certain amount of health, the enemies just run away. Like, I mean, I would say that's a pretty well programmed AI, if I'm being honest. Like, I think that's pretty dope. Like, it's pretty smart. Like, that's just gonna sit there and just wait for you to kill them. They're just actually gonna dip. You know, finding value in a tactical retreat, like myself. Especially if you know you're basically outmatched. Like, even the AI knows, yeah, it's time to go. So yeah, I like this game a lot. I hope you're enjoying the gameplay. I know it's a little wild. It's kind of choppy. It's not the best. But yeah, it's growing. It's growing. It's going. And yeah, more videos to come soon for sure. Okay. All right. Time to go for the kill, guys. Let's go. Poison. Use my ult. Almost got it. Yeah, dang, I stayed too long. It got me. Yeah, slowed movement. Gren, that's his name. Gren is the dragon's name.
Our vigil continues.
But yeah, man, this game is pretty fun. It's pretty wild. The art is amazing. Look at this. This level's called Sanctum Falls, I believe.
Like a flower.
Like, look at this stuff. This is dope. All right. Oh,
Like
body.
you better dead.
Oof. Some of the lines. Oh crap! Guys, come back. That sounded crazy.
I only trust myself with this.
The only thing that stinks is like, I mean, it makes sense though. Like, it's supposed to rely on your team at that point. Is you basically immobile while stealing a checkpoint or PowerPoint, which that makes sense to me. So there's like no getting around it. Yeah, see what I'm saying? Like, they're smart enough to know that like they could potentially die, so they'll actually like run away from you. Ooh. And then, yeah, I'm out of combat.
Plucked like a flower.
Yeah, so his ability cleanses you and also heals you slightly. All right. And then, yeah, you want to wait nearby so it's not that far of a run. Probably gonna pop my ult so I can stun everybody. His ult just entangles everyone. And yeah, we're just gonna finish this off. It all goes together. Yeah, there we go. GG's. GG's. So yeah, that was gigantic. I'm hoping that this doesn't crash. But yeah, it's gigantic. Sometimes the tricky part is like you don't ever know when it's gonna crash. It's still new, still in this infancy. So certain things may take a little longer. It's not as polished. Matchmaking may take a while, but overall, I think it's a pretty good game. I think it's pretty dope for the price. If you want an alternative and you're sort of turned off like Overwatch for the time being or Paladins, I think it's worth it. The art, the gameplay, the characters are the main selling point for me. I got to see this time. I'll take it. Most kills, nice. Quick in and out match. Rush mode is pretty fun. Yeah. So I say get it. If you do get it, you follow the channel. Make sure you join. You join me for a couple of games. I'm always down to make friends, have a good time, hang, chop it up. So if you're interested, I say grab it and come game with your boy. But anyway, that's gonna be it for my review / breakdown of the game and introduction to the channel of Gigantic Rampage Edition. I hope you enjoyed the content. And yeah, come back for more content later. Catch y'all later, man. Peace.